All right, here's our video today, Trigonometry, Algebra 2, the law of sines. Not stop signs, right? Not yield signs. Little corny joke there. But the law of trig ratio signs. And we can use the law of sines to find the lengths of the missing sides. And it's not too difficult. You can do this. So let's get a clean page here. And here we have a triangle. And you notice we have the capital letters. Let's get my pen going. Use green. So we have a capital A and we have a lowercase a, and they're always opposite each other, right? So here's our capital B. And remember, the upper cases are the angles. They're the angles, and the lower cases are the lengths, the side lengths. So these are the side lengths. And it doesn't matter what letters you're using, right? I could have used Q. I could have used P and R. It doesn't matter. In fact, it doesn't even matter where you're positioning A, B, and C. Right? I could have put A over here if I wanted to. As long as, if I'm putting A there, by the way, that means that this should have A. So wherever you're putting the uppercase letter, make sure it's opposite the same letter in lowercase. So let's clear that out. Let's do this again. So in this case, I'm using A followed by C on top and B. So let's give it a little example here. I'll change the color to red. Let's say that you're giving a problem, and we can find now, once you have these degrees, the side length. So let's say we're saying B. Say B is 21 degrees. We'll just put 21 degrees down. And let's say C is 46 degrees. Now, you're going to see something with this because the shape of this triangle will not make sense once we know what the angle of A is. So how do we find the angle of A? Well, you know triangles are 180 degrees. So we know this angle C and angle B and angle A have to equal 180, and you know this, right? So we know angle A is 113 degrees. And that doesn't make sense based on the shape, because you're looking right here. This is an acute angle. We don't want an acute angle. We want an obtuse angle. Now, it wouldn't really matter if we're just using the numbers to find the missing sides. But if we want it to be aesthetically pleasing, let's redraw this. So let's clear this out. All right, I'll use red. So let's make a triangle. Make a triangle. There we go. That'll give me my obtuse angle I'm looking for. So that's our 113 degree angle. And we said that was A. And we said B was over here. And we said C was over here. So we said C was 46 degrees. And we said B was 21 degrees. And you know all three of them will equal 180. And so if this is capital A, that means right across would be lowercase a. And if this is capital B, right across, directly across, would be lowercase b. And there's lowercase c. And we know that the lowercase letters represent the side lengths. So if we're looking at side AC, it corresponds to B. AC, right? From here to there corresponds to B. And C to B corresponds to A. And of course, you could switch these around. It could be CA, it could be BC, and so forth. So what corresponds to C? You got it, AB or BA, whatever one. So let's do a problem. Let's say now, so we have these degrees, and let's say now that we're also given the fact that we have a number. We have C equals 9 centimeters. So we put 9 here. So now C is 9. And let's say we want to find the lengths of A and B. Well, we can do it with the law of sines. And it's not too difficult, just using proportions and some algebra. So let's get our algebra skills together. And your handy dandy calculator. A little Blue's Clue reference there. So what we can do first, let's set up the law of sines. You're going to put A, and you're going to put the opposite angle of A, which is, and we're doing sine, so we say sine 113. And we want it to equal, remember we're making proportions, to B. And what's B's? What do you think? You got it, sine 21. Sine 21. And we already know the length of C, so let's just put 9 over it, because we already know the length. Otherwise, you would put a C there, but it's 9 and sine 46. So rewind if you don't know how I got those. Again, I'm taking the lowercase letter, there's a lowercase a, and its opposite angle is a capital sine 113. And we're using sine. Remember, this is the law of sines. So now it's just a matter of proportions. You can do one at a time. Since we already have the answer for this one, let's do one at a time. So let's use purple. And I'll do the B one first. We're saying B over sine 21 degrees. You don't have to put the degree sign. Over 9 over sine 46. So we're trying to find B. How do we do it? Well, we're doing proportions, so we're just going to cross multiply. Remember, proportions are equal ratios. Cross multiply here. So when you cross multiply, what do you get? So over here, you're going to get sine 46b, because b times sine 46 is sine 46b. And then 9 times sine 21. This is where you got to get your calculator out. Just do sine 21 times 9. And when you do sine 21 times 9 in your calculator, you probably get this long number, 3.2253. And just keep it in there. Don't erase it. Just keep that in there, because, in algebra, you're just going to divide out to make to isolate the b. And just take that answer you got and divide it by sine 46. 3.2253 divided by sine 46. And if you left that number in there, you didn't erase it, b would be 4.48. So we know the length of b. And to find the length of a, we can use 4.48 with b, or we can just use a with c. It doesn't matter. See if you can find a's. So pause the tape and see if you can find what a is. Use the same principle. And I'll change it to black. So again, I'm going to say now a over sine 113, we want it to equal 9 over sine 46. And again, I didn't have to use 9 sine 46. I could have used b sine 21, because we figured out b already also. And it's the same procedure. We're going to cross multiply. Just cross multiply. Cross multiply, make an algebraic equation, and you'll find it. So here, right here, we'll put a little arrow. We're going to have sine 113 times 9 equals sine 46a. So when you times sine 113 times 9 on your calculator, you get about 8.284. Keep that in there, because remember, we're going to divide out the sine 46. We want the a alone. Do an algebra here. Cross that out. Whatever you do to one side, do on the other. And so do 8.284, whatever number you had on your calculator, divided by sine 46. And b would equal 11.517 centimeters. That's how you do the law of sines. Simple as that. Rewind if you need to.